All right, what's up, my good people, and welcome back in to the Bully Ball Show on Sparks TV. As always, I'm your host, Nino Sparks, aka the Mid Range Bully. Now, we finally made it. We are finally here. The regular season has ended. The play in is amongst us. The playoffs is around the corner. And we know who's made it to the dance, who's on their way to the dance, and who won't be there at all. And I'm here to break it all down like a fraction. But as always, before we get started, if it's your first time tapping in, go ahead, tap that like, tap that subscribe, tap that notification bell. Stay tapped in. You are not going to want to miss this shit. It's going to be a playoffs for the ages. I can feel it. Now, originally, I was going to do a recap video on the teams that, didn't make it to the dance. That being mainly the Phoenix Suns, but why start my week off on a negative note? Well, let's let somebody else handle that garbage. We seen what the Suns didn't do. We seen what they did do, and we knew what they weren't gonna do. So instead, I want to talk about something that's gonna uplift my spirits. I want to talk about the home team, my Los Angeles Lakers, your Los Angeles Lakers, who have not only secured a playoff spot, but secured home motherfucking court. So with that being said, can we clap it up for the season? Because it's been a tumultuous season. I hope I'm using that word right. It seems as if it's been two seasons in one, if you really think about it. That we had the beginning of the season and that bullshit, that rolling of the same unit back out. The first year head coach who, like I said, didn't want to ruffle any feathers off the rip. You seen he said it in his opening presser. I'm going to stick with the same lineup that won this many games or whatever. That lineup seems like last year, doesn't it? Because what do? You roll into the season, you start out, 10-4 if I'm not mistaken? And it looked like, okay, JJ might have something. And then it started to bring itself back down to earth. We seen the Lakers were horrible in transition. Just horrible defensively, period. I don't care what the analytics say of Anthony Davis and this one voice we got Dorian Finney-Smith. That's down the road. We're talking about the beginning of the season. We was a hot fucking mess. And it was looking like we were probably not even going to make the play. Some people were saying we wasn't even going to make the play in. And had we kept that same team, I wouldn't disagree with them. I kept doing video after video, trade scenario after trade scenario. Rob, will you do something? And even when he made little moves, it was like, that's not going to cut it, Rob. It seemed like the Lakers were the team that got fleeced in free agency. You didn't go get a Klay Thompson. You didn't go get a DeRozan. Hell, you didn't go get a Valanciunas. And what did I say? I said Rob was going to come out of this trade deadline, and he waited to the bitter end. He was going to come out of this looking one or two ways. Like an asshole. Like all the memes. Oh, Rob's at Disneyland. Talking about mentally. Rob's going for a walk. Rob didn't know which way is up. Rob went from having slick black hair to looking like George Clooney. Rob's in over his head. Oh, we need Danny Ainge. Oh, we need Sam Presti. We need anybody. We need Brad Stevenson. Or is it Stevens? Whatever. They was calling for Rob's head. You think how they doing Nico is dirty. Man, they was dragging Rob through the dirt. And I said he was either going to come out looking like an asshole or he was going to look like an evil genius. Birdman rubbing his hands together. And what did Big Bobby do? Not only did he pull off the motherfucking trade of the century, you seen him do it back to back. He had that Russell Westbrook contract. They said it was impossible to get off that shit. He got it off. Not only did he get it off, he brought in some young dogs. And then he did it again. Did it again. I'm talking about the trade of the motherfucking sin. Don't be surprised if he do it again. I'm talking about a third whammy. Don't be surprised if he do it again in the offseason. Because they going for a center. Best believe it. Depending on how this season wraps up, they going for a center. If we win the whole thing, they still got to go get a center. But you know they going for a name. Because that's what the Lake show. That's what we do. We go get a name. Now, he got a little greedy with the Mark Williams shit. Dalton Connect didn't deserve that. He didn't. But it is what it is. We here now, player. We here. I can't even get into the matchup just yet because I want to talk some more shit. What did he do? They was on you for drafting Bronny in the beginning of the season. I told y'all what Bronny was going to do. I told y'all, if you think this man's going to play just in the G League, you're tripping. What did he do? Started the last game of the season. I know that game didn't mean shit, but he still started in the game in the NBA. I'm not going to let y'all act like the G League doesn't mean anything. Man averaged 22 in the G League. Now you're seeing what his real averages look like when he's healthy, right? You could scratch that USC shit. If it was any other name and any other person, any other regular player that had a heart condition and then came back, they wouldn't be all over him like that. But because he got that name, anything he does good ain't good enough. Anything he does bad, oh, I told you so. Don't be surprised if he gets some minutes in the playoffs and does something with it. I doubt that that's going to happen, but injury here or there, you never know. So now that pick looks formidable moving forward. And you go get the guy. Why was it important to go get the guy instead of a guy? Because as good as Anthony Davis is, for whatever reason, the man just doesn't show up. He doesn't show up. He ain't showed up since the bubble. Let's just keep it a stack. And I love AD. Was riding with him. But now, if you LeBron, you don't got to worry about whether or not this guy is ready to take over. Oh, the Slovenian Don, he was born for that type shit. He basically been doing that type shit his whole life. Now let's talk about why you had to get AD up out of there. Because the best player in the league, or the second best player, the best player will be Shea. The second best player in Nikola Jokic plays in your conference. And you basically have been like 1-5 against Jokic since the bubble. Or is it 1-4? However you want it. Yeah, 1-5. Why you think AD religiously said, we need a center, we need a center? Because you don't want that. And you were never JJ's guy. Let's get that clear. LeBron was JJ's guy. And vice versa. JJ didn't even put you on his defensive team. He didn't even have you on the second team. It don't matter how he tried to break it down and explain the shit analytically in the presser. He didn't have you on there because he don't think you like that. He was never sold on that. He was never sold on running the ball through AD. Now we're seeing what his offensive philosophies look like. Now we're seeing what it looks like when he has his guy. He talked about coaching AR more than he ever talked about coaching Anthony Davis, and that's facts. He spoke about Rui Hachimura more than he spoke about Anthony. They had to ask you about AD. He said D'Lo was the person he spoke to the most. But AD was supposed to be the guy that was supposed to be taking over the team. Come on, dog. You knew from the jump JJ wasn't sold on Anthony Davis, which is why you had to get him up out of there. Hey, you want to play the 4? You can do it for the rest of your life down in Texas. We need a big that's going to do what we tell him to do. You see JJ, we don't even need a big. Don't be surprised if during the offseason they go get a 5-out big and keep Jackson Hayes as the lob threat big. That way you can kill 2 birds with 1 stone. We can play 5-out like how JJ wants to play. And we can run that pick and roll with a lob threat how Luka wants to play. But now it's going to get down to coaching. We're going to see what you really, really got. We're going to see what the coaching staff really, really got. Because this first matchup, now we're going to get into it. This first matchup ain't nothing to sneeze at. And although I still favor my team, of course, I favor us against anybody. And it would have been nice to get Memphis. It would have been nice to get Memphis. As much as I love Ja, as electric as he is, it would have been nice to get Memphis. Because if we're keeping it a stack, he the only one you got to worry about. As good as Desmond Bane is, we would have got them out of there in 5 to the max. It would have been Lakers in 5 to the max. But now we got a series on our hand. And not for the reasons you think. Rudy Gobert, you might not even play, player. Y'all know how I feel about Rudy Gobert. I don't hold no reservation. I don't like to disrespect nobody. I don't think the man's like that. I damn sure don't think he deserves all the defensive player trophies that he's won. He shouldn't even have one, if I'm really being honest. Maybe I don't watch him enough. Maybe I didn't watch the Jazz enough. Even though I feel like I did watch him. Maybe I didn't watch all 82 games of the T-Bulls. So maybe I don't see how he affects the game throughout the game. Maybe I don't see how he affects players from being able to drive through the paint and they have to go into other moves because he's anchoring the defense. He's anchoring the paint. He just stands in the fucking paint, for crying out loud. Maybe I don't see it enough, but let me tell you what I have seen. I seen you in the playoffs last season. I seen what Luka did to you. Screaming in your face, motherfucker. We seen what he did to you. We see what guards do to you on a regular basis. They fuck you up every time. If you get put on the island, you can't be the defensive player of the year and get put on the island and get cooked. You couldn't do that to a Dwight Howard in his prime. You couldn't do that to a Shaq. You can't do that to a Marcus Smart. You can't do that to Jared Jackson Jr. You can't do that to Anthony Davis. You can't do it to Giannis. Hell, you can't do it to Embiid when he's healthy. You can't be the best defense. You can't do it to Draymond Green at this age. You're not on none of those guys' levels that I just named. And some of them ain't even won a Defensive Player of the Year. You ain't on none of their levels. Let's get that out the way. I don't see it. Maybe the league is building you up to be something. Maybe it's the French thing. They trying to get international players. expose. I don't know what it is. You're not Wemby. You're not on none of those guys' level when it comes to defense. I haven't seen it. And like I said, maybe I don't watch all 82 games of the Minnesota Timberwolves. Not damn sure didn't watch all 82 games when you was playing for the Utah Jazz. But they didn't think too much of it because they got you up out of there. And I guarantee you, if you're the reason they get cooked, your team gets cooked this season, they going to be looking to get you up out of there. You ain't going to go for 5 first-rounders. You can bet that. So Rudy, he's going to be the first pawn off the chessboard. Because Luka, he going to get in that ass. Oh, it's going to be Grey Poupon everywhere. I'm talking about Slovenian barbecue chicken everywhere. Smothered ribs. He going to turn you to the big croissant. It's going to be crepes everywhere. Austin Reeves going to get in that ass. What you think he do? Dumb handle. You want to be on an island with him? I ain't even mention Bron. Even at this age, getting in that ass. It's about to be a feast. Even if you do start, because they're not just going to play into our hand and just play small off the rip, even though they should play Nas Reed at the 5. That's your only formidable chance against us. Rudy Gobert, you might be done in the first quarter, playboy. You might as well play with your warm-ups on. Their best chance to beating us is going to be with Nas Reed at the 5 and Randall at the 4. And speaking of Randall going to get busy. He going to get busy. Make no mistake about it. Dorian Finney-Smith, he going to get busy on Dorian Finney-Smith. Rui, he going to fuck you up. But if you the Lakers, I think you got to live with that. I think you got to live with Randall getting his. What you can't do is let Ant-Man go off. Oh, we got a double team. We got a triple team. Now, the Lakers might just play. We're not trying to give up all of the defensive schemes in one game. So don't be surprised if the Lakers drop that first game trying to play them straight up and Ant-Man goes for 45. But the key with Ant-Man, it's not what he does on offense. What are you going to do on defense? Are you going to want that smoke like you wanted that smoke with Kyrie? Luka a lot bigger than Kyrie. Or you think you're going to be guarding AR? Will the Lakers look to exploit Ant-Man on defense? I think you got to go at him. If I'm the Lakers, I'm going at you every possession. Not because you lack anything defensively. No, you that dude defensively. In fact, I think you can make not only make a defensive team, hell, I think you could be a defensive player of the year. Not now, but eventually you got the skill set. Not only do you have the skill set, not only do you have the size and the versatility, but you got that want. I think you want that type of shit. You don't call out a Kyrie if you don't want that type of shit. Now, the problem with that, boy, my fade look ridiculous, don't it? The only problem with that is this is a different team. It's different when you're going up against playoff Bron. They don't mention that, do they? A lot of people put playoff before their name. This man, he ain't got to put that before his name because he's the king. Hell, you might say he's the king of the playoffs. You're not going to get a healthy LeBron in there and think that he ain't going to turn it up. He going to turn all the way up. So if you Ant-Man, who are you guarding? We can't let you hide out and think you're going to guard Rui Hachimura and Austin Reeves. Just like we put Rudy Gobert in that pick and roll, we're going to put your ass in that pick and roll. because we can't let you hide. Because if you let him hide on defense, he gonna get in your ass on offense. You can best believe that. But if you're the Lakers, you're gonna have to live with something. I think you live with Randall going off. I think you live with Nas Reed going off for a game or two. If the Lakers were to drop any game, I would have to think it would be game one. Because usually LeBron, he likes to figure you out in game one. But the kicker to that will be Luka. Luka don't need no figuring out. Luka gonna come out and do his motherfucking thing. And if you lay back, he'll really get it cooking. He'll finish your ass in 3 quarters. And it ain't nobody on the T-Wolves that could fuck with it. Alexander Walker, he cooked your ass. Rudy Gobert cooked you off the court. Ant-Man, you was nowhere to be found. You was talking about Kyrie. You didn't want none of that. Do you think Dante DiVincenzo? You think he got something for Big Luka? Stop it. You'd be better off putting him on Austin Reeves. That'd be a better matchup for that. But if you the T-Wolves, you only got so many people. Who guarding LeBron? That's the real question. You think Julius Randle could guard LeBron? You're tripping. Julius Randle ain't never guarded anybody. So for that reason, I got Lakers in 5. I think if they lose any game, it'll be game 1. If the Lakers take game 1, this shit might be over in 4. But out of respect for Ant-Man, I'm going to say Lakers in 5. And that's all I got for free. Y'all let me know what y'all think in the comment section. Do you got the T-Wolves? Why do you got the T-Wolves? Do you feel like Ant-Man has shown up in the playoff? Do you feel like this is a better matchup for Ant-Man? Because on the flip side, we don't really have a steady answer for him. We can throw all the guys we want at him. Vando will probably be that first guy. Well, he's not going to start. So it'll probably be Dorian Finney-Smith if we start small. Then Vando going to get at him. Gabe Vincent going to get a chance at him. Goodwin going to get a chance at him. Hell, even LeBron might take him a little bit. And I expect Ant-Man to still cook. I expect Julius Randle to get busy. But we can't let both of them get busy at the same time. Pause. And on that flip side, Lake Show. I think this is the series for Luka. Because it ain't no match. It ain't no answers for him. We know what LeBron was going to do. It ain't no answer in the league for LeBron, even at 40-something. But I think this Luka is going to be a repeat of what you saw last season, but even worse. Because for whatever reason, the T-Wolves, they're worse defensively. I don't know the rating or the statistics. I'm just going off of what my eyes can tell me. They don't look as good as they did last season. They don't look like the team that's going to the Western Conference Finals. They look like they going home. But y'all let me know what y'all think. I'm going to tap back in later. Peace.